You're thinking about buying a home here in Ramble in Celina, Texas. There's a few things you absolutely must know before you sign a contract, and surprisingly, they're not going to be what you think. Because on paper and in person, Ramble looks almost perfect. You have anything from 40-foot lots to 84-foot lots, ranging in price ranges for pretty much everyone, $400,000 up to $1 million, resort style amenities, massive future growth, and it's quickly becoming one of the most talked about master planned communities in North Texas. But after touring every single model home, chatting with a bunch of the builders, walking the community and researching what's coming to Northern Celina, I've realized there's a few things that a lot of people aren't talking about. Some of them surprised me, some could save you thousands of dollars, and one could completely change which lot, home, and floor plan you end up with entirely. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover everything from builders, lot sizes, locations, commute route, school rating, HOA, taxes, absolutely everything you need to know about this community here in Celina, Texas. Pros, cons, who this community is perfect for, and who should look elsewhere. Because if you're relocating from out of state, you're not going to get the luxury of driving through the neighborhood every week during rush hour, not during rush hour, to see what it's actually like. Making one of the biggest financial decisions you'll probably ever make from hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, and I'm here to help bridge that gap. Now, before we dive in, let me quickly tell you why I even make these videos. If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Jake Inderman. My team and I help people relocate to North Texas from all over, whether you're watching from California, Washington, New Jersey, wherever it may be. But one of the most common questions we get: where should we live? What's actually worth the money? Which builders are the best? What aren't other YouTube videos and sales reps telling us? That's exactly why I wanted to make this guide. Now, I also have a bunch of other videos. I toured every model home in this neighborhood. So if you want to see what all those look like, they're on my channel. And there will be a few more getting published right after this video. Now, this is not going to be a 5-minute neighborhood overview tour. It's not just going to be highlights about how great the community is. I'm going to talk about some things I really don't like about the community. I wanted this to be a video I wish everyone could watch before you get on the plane or car ride here to North Texas. By the end of the video, you should know exactly if Ramble is going to be a great fit for you and your family, and you should keep it on your list, cross it off your list, if it's within your budget and long-term goals. Now, here's the first thing that really changed my perspective about Ramble. It's not the great amenities, not the awesome homes and ton of different home options you have. I was super impressed by that, but it's the vision. Most master plan communities are built around the amenities and the homes. Ramble's being built around the lifestyle. They were really thoughtful. When they built this, they wanted to keep some of the older, mature trees. They have a coffee shop at the front of the neighborhood, which I toured in some of my home tours of Ramble. And I know every builder is going to say that. It's built around the lifestyle, all this, all that. But when you walk it and drive through it, see the drone footage I'm going to overlay, you're going to understand it's different. Now, we'll get into some of the downsides of the community, like I said, a little bit later, because it's not all perfect. But you can tell the developer didn't come in and say, hey, how many homes can we fit here? Because then there would now be 84-foot lots and 74-foot lots and 60-foot lots, big lots for here in North Texas. They wanted it to be an integrated community and spending time outside. So when you see they have tons of trails that are already open, they kept the mature trees. So you don't just have these little bitty twigs that look like trees growing like so many communities do, including my own. You have open spaces, parks, playgrounds, pools, and the Turtle Club that's coming in 2027. Now, all of that is a huge reason of why so many people love it, is the integration. Of course, if you're a coffee lover, having a coffee shop at the front of the neighborhood is a huge bonus. The amenities are great. On-site elementary schools that are coming in future phases are great. But there's another reason. It doesn't have anything to do with the neighborhood. It has to do with what's happening around the area, which we'll get into a little bit later. But before we talk about future growth, I'm sure you're wondering, where is Ramble located? Because if you've never been to Celina, the map can be misleading. You talk to one person, they're going to tell you Celina is an hour 15, hour and a half from Dallas. Talk to another person, they're going to say it's 30 minutes away. And neither one of them are wrong. It depends what part of Celina you're looking at. Well, 30 minutes may be a stretch from Dallas, for sure. But most of Celina is 40 minutes to an hour plus from Dallas. Now, let's pull up the map. I'll do a map overlay. I think it goes on this side. and show you exactly where it sits. Now what you're going to notice is it is probably a little bit further north than what you were maybe planning or thinking it was in Celina. And I drive by it almost every day. I take 289 a lot to get down to Prosper, Frisco. I live just north of Celina, but it sits super strategically. It's right off Preston Road, also known as Highway 289, which runs parallel to the Dallas North Tollway. So it's not like you have a lot of city driving, 40 miles an hour, stoplights, stop signs to get to your main travel roads. It's gonna be one of your main roads you get on, and that makes commuting a lot quicker. Now, that means you're connected to Prosper pretty quickly, Frisco, McKinney, and eventually, of course, I believe more employment centers are gonna come closer to Celina. So you have a lot coming to you, but is it further from Dallas than Frisco? Yes. Absolutely it is. And if you're commuting to downtown Dallas every day, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this is gonna be a great fit for you. Now, if you're hybrid, maybe 2-3 days a week, I think it's worth considering. But many of you that are moving are working remotely or a hybrid schedule, like I said. So that can be a huge advantage of some of these Celina communities, is you're not having to drive as often, get a lower price point and a lot more home than if you were to buy in Frisco, Prosper, Plano, or McKinney. And you get a completely different lifestyle feel. Further north, you get a little bit more land, quieter, more of that kind of small town feel, although Celina is quickly growing. I have a Celina relocation guide below that will be great for you, kind of get to know the area's other top communities if you're moving here, and I have lots of videos of those as well. You can watch and compare these for yourself. But being farther north is a lot of the appeal for people that I have moved here. They want to be a little bit further out, get more home, more land or lot size. And a big reason for wanting to move further north is to get away from the traffic. Now, traffic here is not great. Now, I've never driven in Houston, but for everyone that I have that has moved from Houston, it's way better than Houston. So if you've ever been to Houston, there's a good comparison for you. Way better than LA. I've been to LA. Dallas is not near as bad. But there is some traffic, and that traffic is going to grow up to you in Celina eventually. Now, I don't know if that's in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, what that timeline is. But when you buy today, it's going to be different 5, 10, 15 years from now. Celina right now just crossed 60,000 people. They're expecting by 2030 to be at about 100,000 people and eventually reach 400,000 people. So it's going to change. It's going to grow a lot. Traffic is going to change. You're going to have to deal with construction, honestly, no matter where you move to in DFW. But even with it, I can tell a huge difference. Once I get Prosper north, it's way less traffic than Frisco. I love Frisco. Great community. If you're considering it, I would definitely look into it, but I would definitely drive both your work routes from Frisco to work, Celina to work, and just around town in both of those, and decide which one you really want to deal with day in and day out. Because right now in Celina, it doesn't feel like there's some traffic. It doesn't feel overwhelming or congested yet. I'm sure eventually that will change depending when you watch this video, because the growth brings traffic, and you're moving into one of the top relocation and fastest growing cities in America. So the real question here is not, is the traffic going to increase? We know it is. The question is the future growth, potential appreciation of your home, shopping, restaurants, dining, and conveniences going to catch up and make it worthwhile for you? I think that's the biggest decision you have to make here. Later in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why I think Ramble has an upper hand from the growth than a lot of buyers realize. Now, if you are relocating here, have trouble deciding between, do I go Ramble in Celina, Fields in Frisco, Park Place in Prosper, or whatever communities you're deciding between, reach out to me. My team and I would love to help you make a smooth move here to North Texas. Decide between those communities, see which one is the best fit for you and your family, and more importantly, make sure you have a smooth move and as stress-free as possible here to North Texas. So if you are planning to make the move, whether that's in the next 9 days, 90 days, 9 months, reach out to us. All our contact info is below. Call, text, email, schedule a Zoom, whatever you're most comfortable with. But let's talk about Celina, why people are moving to Celina, where it sits, and then we'll get into some of the builders. Now, I'd imagine if you're moving from out of state, you looked up Ramble and said, that's a little far north. But to encourage you, think about what's coming, because kind of right now, you've got to think the future growth Of course, we're going to get into prices. Celina is significantly cheaper than most other North Texas suburbs. Probably moving here, whether you're looking for more space, moving for work, better schools, no state income tax, different type of living, whatever you're looking for. Maybe you want to buy a brand new home instead of a 40-year-old home that costs the same amount in your state. Let's talk about the future of Celina and the growth that's coming. That way you can understand, is this a smart move for you? Celina's consistently been ranked one of the top cities and fastest growing cities in America the last few years. And it's not just because builders are building homes. There's a reason. You have the Dallas North Tollway extension. You have a ton of big relocation companies moving their headquarters here, which is of course creating jobs moving here. Universal Studios came here, Toyota's headquarters. You have the Star. There's a ton to do here, ton of jobs moving. You have Legacy West. You're not too far from downtown Dallas. And when you think about Frisco 20, 25 years ago, that was far out there. 121 was a 2-lane dirt road. Then you fast forward to today and Celina is like the capital of North Texas almost. It's everyone wants to move there. They've got the 15-minute city. You've got the fields of Frisco. You have a ton of growth. PGA headquarters moved here and the growth keeps moving. Now you have Prosper and then you have Celina that's booming. So I'm not saying Celina is going to be better or the next Frisco, but I think the continued growth, you're going to have all the conveniences to you in no time, and it's going to be significantly more convenient. Now, let's talk about Preston Road, because I actually really like this about Ramble. You're right off Preston Road. So that's super convenient. It's a major north-south corridor. You're right on the east side of Preston Road. So you'll have to turn out into right across the north and southbound traffic. But it's not a crazy blind spot. There is a little dip at the bottom of the hill if you're turning into the neighborhood from the north that you just have to really pay attention. But it gives you a straight shot to Prosper and Frisco. You hop right on Preston Road and you're there. Now, it is one of the major corridors, so you are going to have some traffic. Now, depending where you're moving from, you may be thinking, okay, great, traffic. It's going to take me 2 hours to get home, bumper to bumper, thinking of people honking. It's not the case. North Texas traffic, it can be like that if there's a wreck, but it's more so during peak hours, not 24/7. So, instead of going 65, you may be going 35 to 45. Outside of the peak hours, getting around is pretty straightforward. A lot of the roads are improving. Of course, if you have to use 380, drive 380 before you get here. It's gotten way better, but that's really where you'll have stop and go, because there's a stoplight like every mile and it's always red. I promise, it's always red. I never see it stay green. So I get caught at every light, I swear. Now, one question I get all the time is, okay, it's further out from Dallas. Does that mean I'm far from all my groceries, retail, shopping, all of that? No, all of it's a pretty reasonable drive. I'll overlay some screenshots here, kind of show you how far you are from everything. And you can decide if that's too big of an inconvenience or very doable for you. I actually think outside of like the further south, fully built out communities like Light Farms comes to mind, Cambridge Crossing, which is right across from Light Farms. I think this is one of the more conveniently located subdivisions in Celina as far as getting to everything. Now, there's further north ones like Legacy Hills that homes are significantly cheaper. You can get a great deal, great home anywhere from like $300,000 to $600,000, but it's a lot further away from everything. So that's one of the pros and cons of a lot of these Celina neighborhoods. I'll get into comparing later in this video, Ramble versus some of the other top communities. But I think if you are working remotely, work hybrid, or have like a 3 on, 2 off, 3-3, like a nurse schedule or paramedic firefighter schedule, I think it's a great fit for you because you get a lot more home, you're further out from everything, a little bit less traffic, more home for the money. But if you're driving to downtown Dallas every day, unless you just really love the space and don't mind spending, 10, 15, 20 hours a week in the car just commuting, I think you should probably look elsewhere at another community. Now, I'm not here to sell you on Ramble is the best community. Don't look at any others because honestly, it's great for some and terrible for other people. But talk about location, traffic, kind of how you get around. But let's talk about the builders, lot size, prices, floor plans, the stuff you really care about once you decide on the right location. Okay, so obviously, right, you kind of know about the location, about who's it good for, commutes, but let's get into really the meat and potatoes, what the community's like. So you have 5 builders. You have Drees Home, American Legend, Perry, Coventry, oh, and Highland Homes. Save the best for last. No, really, Highland is really good. One of my favorites, most people favorites. You have 40-foot lots starting at low 400,000s up to 84-foot lots that go well north of $1 million and everything in between. Now, talking into the lots, this is one of the most important decisions you're going to make is the lot you select, because most people fall in love with the floor plan and then the lot. I really think in a way it should be the other way around, because you need to think, okay, what do I use my house for? Do I need an 84-foot lot, or do we spend all our time inside? Save the money on the lot, upgrade, have a awesome interior, or you may be opposite, spend less money inside, save that money for a pool, outdoor grill, turf, whatever it may be. And also think, which direction does your lot face? Which way is the sun gonna be at night or in the morning? If you like to spend times in the morning, probably gonna want a west-facing backyard. If you wanna spend time in the evenings, cook out, hang out, watch football games, whatever it may be, probably wanna get one that is shaded in the afternoon. So there's a lot of little things to think about, because, right, you can change your floor plan. Well, you can change the details of your floor plan, paint color, all that. You can't change which direction your home faces, how close it is to the park, pool, amenities, playgrounds, all of that. Now, let's break it down by lot size. We're gonna talk about all the different lots. Now, the HOA, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the HOA, ranges from $1,850 to $2,600 a year. I'll go into details what that covers, because yes, it's an expensive HOA, but I actually think it's one of the most affordable HOAs, and I'll explain that. Now, the 40-foot lots, definitely your most affordable way. The ones that are below 400,000 are going to be 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,600 square feet. Still super, super nice and updated. I toured one of those, actually 2 of them. I toured the American Legend and the Coventry Homes, 40-foot lots. You're going to have everything you need. If you're either downsizing your first home, don't need much space, or don't want a big backyard, these are going to be perfect for you. Now, of course, you're not going to have much of a backyard on a 40-foot lot, so keep that in mind. Now, a lot of people tend to land on I feel like the 50-foot lots, 50s and 60s. I have a 50. There's plenty of space, unless you want like I could fit a small pool or a backyard patio. If you want both of those, you probably need to bump up to the 74 or 84-foot lots. But the 50-foot HOA was $1,950 or $2,000. Which, after we go through all those, I'll tell you what the HOA covers, and then we'll go into your tax rate as well. Now, you're gonna have plenty of usable backyard, a lot more privacy. You can fit a bigger home. Most of those are gonna be like your high 5s to 700s, 800s, right? It can get crazy depending what updates you do. Those are gonna be kind of your middle tier price point. You're gonna have Highland, American Legend, and Perry. And then same on the 60-foot lots, right? I believe those were $2,100 a month on the HOA costs. The 74-foot lots were $2,400 on the HOA costs, and the 84s were $2,600 on the HOA costs, which again, sounds expensive. It sounds crazy to say. It is the most affordable HOA I think I've seen in North Texas. Now, of course, on your 60-foot lots, right, everything's just bigger. You can fit a bigger home, nicer home, bigger backyard, better back patio. It just depends. Do you have the budget for it? Now, these are going to be like your 700s and up. And then when we get to your 74 and 84-foot lots, those are going to be, right, 800 plus. They can get pretty crazy on price point. The model on one of them on the 74s was like 1.2, but they spent $125,000 on the exterior. So, right, and it wasn't a pool. That was just like landscaping, stonework, turf, a bunch of stuff that looks great, but most people aren't actually going to do. Now, with those bigger lots, the 74 and 84 they have rear entry and front entry garages, so you can choose. The 84s, you can have a 4-car garage. Now, they're 2 separate 2-car garages, so it's not like you get a tandem super deep garage, but you get a 4-car garage, which is pretty awesome. But that's where Ramble really starts to compete with those luxury other neighborhoods that a lot of neighborhoods don't have 84-foot lots. I can think Star Trail does, Legacy Gardens does, both of those are in Prosper. Fields has some that are that size, but again, I mean, they're going to be significantly more expensive. So if you want that room and it's in your budget, it's super hard to beat those. Now, before I break down each builder, kind of what they do in this community, see which one may be a best fit for you, let me tell you about the HOA. Now, the HOA, like I said, Most average HOAs here are about $80 to $100 a month. So right, about $1,200 a year. All of these are significantly more than that. But it includes your internet, which right now I pay $50 a month for my internet. So there's $600 in savings. It includes your front lawn maintenance, and that's not just mowing. That's mulch, new flowers, bush trimming, fertilizing. So obviously, depending on the lot size, depends how much you save on that. But even on a 40-foot lot, probably minimum, if you found someone super cheap, you could get just the mowing for $25 a week. Now, bush trimming and that would be extra, probably $100 a month, 8 months out of the year. So there's $800. You're at $1,400 saved, and you're paying $1,850. So that's what I mean. The effective cost of the HOA is like $450 on the smaller lots. I feel like on just minimum stuff you would have to pay for anyways. Now, the amenities wise also has a gym, which could save costs. We'll get into amenities later. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but didn't want to scare you off on the HOA costs. So that's something to factor in. Now let's talk about Drees Homes. Drees have the 74 and 84 foot lot. They're a semi-custom builder. They've become super well known. They build a gorgeous home. I've got the model tour. They didn't have any 84s ready, but I toured the 74, but everything flows. The kitchen is functional. All of these are gonna have open floor plans. So honestly, I would encourage you, go watch my home tour videos. I toured all the builders in here and get you a fit. Now, I'm still gonna go over all of them in this video so you kind of have a touch, but that's really, especially if you're a visual person, gonna give you an idea. Now, Highland Homes has one of the strongest reputations in Texas, and for good reason. They build a great home. They close in about a week. I've got a family, they're buying a Highland home. It was a 2021, right? Built during COVID when everyone said the homes are gonna suck, the quality's gonna be terrible. The inspection report on their 5-year-old Highland home was basically spotless. We had a scratch on the window, a garage door that needed to be serviced, and the sprinklers needed to be readjusted. Like that's just normal wear and tear, right? So they build a really good home, quality-wise and looks-wise. They look gorgeous. They're super open and functional. Again, their model home, the Shelley floor plan was gorgeous. Super open, living room, kitchen, huge primary, awesome backyard space. They had a media room upstairs. I would 100% go tour all of these builders, depending what price range you are, right? Highland's gonna be that little bit higher price range. So if you're in that 500 or below, you're probably gonna be at Coventry, American Legend, maybe a smaller Perry. You might be able to find a Highland, but Highland and Drees are gonna be your higher tier price point. Now, like I said, American Legend is up and coming. I feel like again, this isn't a quality wise or what I would do it, but I feel like you have Drees and Highland, then you have Perry and American Legend, pretty even. They both build great homes. And then you have Coventry, and I only say Coventry's down here because they're on the 40-foot lot. So they're at that lower price point in this neighborhood, but they're all great builders. I do not talk about or tour homes that are what I feel like I would not buy from that builder myself. So here's the thing, I don't want to spend much time on builders. One, I feel like that's kind of boring for you to listen to. Two, I have all the different builder tours on my channel you can check out. And three, depending what buyer profile you are, depends which ones are beneficial to you, right? I'm not gonna say, hey, Perry's the best or Highland's the best. It depends what your goals and budget are, right? If you're in the 40-foot, right? 40-foot, just want a three or 4 bedroom, 1,600 to 2,200 square foot, you're gonna have Coventry and American Legend. If you wanna step up in the 50 and 60-foot lots, have a little bit nicer, bigger home, have that media room with a home office, you're kind of in that 600 to 800, maybe 550 to 800, right? That's gonna open the door. American Legend, Perry, and Highland. And if you want the ultra luxury, super big lot, you're gonna be Drees and Highland. So it really depends what you're looking for as to which builder you wanna pursue in this neighborhood. Now, something else I touched on, the lots, right? Definitely make sure that think about, okay, what stage of life are we in now? And what stage of life are we gonna be in 5-10 years from now? Are we okay backing up to a busy road? Are we okay being in the main through street of the neighborhood? Or do we want, we like to be outside. We don't want to back up to a busy road and have to turn our TV volume up to 80. Or, right, we have kids, we want them to be able to play on the street. Let's try and find a cul-de-sac. Those are all super important things to think about and consider. Like I said, if you have any questions about these, say, hey, we're kind of between the 2 price points you said, or we don't know which home to go with in this community, or whatever it may be. So those are all things to think about. If, like I said, if you're thinking of relocating here to North Texas, reach out to me. I'd love to help you make a smooth move here. We've helped numerous families from all over make the move. We can definitely get you a custom plan that fits your needs, your budget, your location, and commute times. Everything's super important, and make sure you can make the move with confidence. So be sure to reach out to me. All my contact info is below. But let's dig into the amenities. So the amenities, a lot of them aren't here yet. Now, you have a coffee shop at the front of the neighborhood that's not included in the HOA. You still have to buy your coffee and muffins, but they do have Wi-Fi. It's actually a pretty cool little place to go hang out, work from home if you wanted to get a coffee, didn't want to drive to Starbucks. Now, a lot of the amenities aren't here, which are going to be one of the cons or downsides of this neighborhood. But in 2027, they're expecting the Turtle Club to be done, which is going to be your pool, fitness center. You're also going to have pickleball and basketball courts. The trails are there, so if you like to walk, those are in. You've got a couple fishing ponds, which I did see some kids fishing when I was there in the neighborhood. They're going to have some green space. So a lot of it's coming. So if you have, about a year of patience, a lot of them are going to be there and usable. And then eventually they're going to have 2 on-site elementary schools, which they're hoping to have the first one finished by 2027. But if you know anything about construction, usually runs a little behind. So I would not bank on that. Now, again, the HOA rate is higher, but weigh it between your lawn care costs, your internet costs, and what amenities you get compared to some of the other North Texas communities. Now, another downside of this one is the tax rate. You're in an MMD, which is similar to a MUD or PID. If you aren't familiar with those, they're extra tax assessments to help fund the growth and infrastructure of a city and or neighborhood. So you're going to have a little bit higher tax rate. You're at 2.785, which is a lot. Of course, that is right. You have your homestead, which will knock it down a little bit, but you're almost paying 3% on your home's evaluation. That's going to be something that may price some of you out of this neighborhood. You may, right, on a $500,000, $600,000 home, that's going to be an extra $4,500 or probably $5,000 a year added to your payments, another $400-$500 a month. So you're 100% right. You could totally go to another neighborhood with no MUD, no PID, and get a more expensive house for the same payment. Keep that in mind. But again, don't let it be a deal breaker. Look at the location, the amenities, HOA costs, what you get for it, and really decide, can I get that in another community I love as much? Now, obviously with that, you've probably noticed, and I'm not gonna be one of the realtors that are afraid to say it, Ramble's not the cheapest community. You've got higher tax rate, higher HOA, and you've got some pretty luxury homes that are gonna be expensive. But that's kind of the point. It's not trying to be the cheapest community in Celina. If you're looking for a lower price point, reach out to me. I can definitely recommend some great ones. Legacy Hills is going to be one of those. Have a ton of videos on it. But Ramble is trying to create that premium luxury lifestyle. And in order to get that, right, you've got to have 2 separate goals. So if you're shopping for, like I said, the lowest price per square foot, this isn't going to be the greatest community fit for you. But if you're shopping for kind of how you want your life to feel, integrated community, great amenities, don't have to worry about front lawn maintenance. You hop on right on Preston Road, go to work. It's gonna be a good fit for you. Now, let's talk about some of the hidden costs of buying in Ramble. Really, any new construction community, you walk in the model, all of these had anywhere from like $100,000 to $400,000 in upgrades. Now, like I said, one of those, $125,000 of it was on landscaping. 99.999% of people are not going to spend that on landscaping. But most people are going to want to upgrade their flooring, their backsplash, maybe get rid of the carpet or upgrade your carpet, different paint colors, add a wet bar instead of a closet. And those upgrades add up super quickly. So I always encourage my clients to see what the list of upgrades are, see what your budget is, and then really weigh out which ones you use the most and having which ones, and let's decide where spending the extra money is actually going to improve your quality of life and enjoyment. Because some upgrades are 100% worth every penny, and some of them after you move in, you're like, that was a complete waste of money. And you never even noticed you did it. Now, another little one that catches a ton of people off guard is blinds. Like that's something super easy to forget. And you're like, oh, it's not a big deal. And you realize you have 30 windows and you've got to hang them and they're not super cheap. So make sure you either plan for that or we'll get the builder to add them in. So now, who should buy here? Who should probably avoid it? Now, before we compare Ramble to some of the other top subdivisions, I'm curious, one, where are you watching from? And two, do you think this is the right fit for you? I feel like if you have kids, want to have an active community, or you're going to have the elementary school in there, you're pretty close to everything, especially since you're in Celina, which a lot of people feel is far out, which parts of it are, but you've got great builders, excellent strong-term growth potential. And if you're okay paying a little bit more on the HOA and tax side for some of the trade-offs, it's gonna be a great fit for you. Now, if your number one priority is having the absolute lowest monthly payment, of course, the MMD is gonna take that one off the table. Or I think if you commute far, if your commute's 45 minutes or an hour plus with no traffic, I think you should probably look elsewhere. But let's get into, like I said, probably the most requested part is like, okay, this is a great community, sounds fantastic. How does it stack up to some of the other top communities, right? You have so many new communities here in North Texas. You have Light Farms, North Sky in Celina, which is another top one, Legacy Gardens, Park Place, Fields. You have a ton of great communities, and they may be a great fit or they may be an awful fit for you. Now, Ramble versus Light Farms, that's a really tough one. They're both great. Light Farms is way more ahead, way more established, more mature landscaping. Already has those pool and pickleball courts in place. It's got several different pools. It's a lot bigger community, right? You're gonna have more people moved in, more kids and families for you to get to know, make friends with. So Light Farms is definitely gonna be a better fit for you. One, if you want all the amenities that are already there as soon as you move in and able to use. It's right off the Dallas North Tollway. So if you commute south, especially to Dallas, it's gonna have a big upper hand on you for that. And then if you don't want construction right inside your neighborhood, Light Farms is gonna win on that one. Now, you've got to deal with construction on the Dallas North Tollway and around your house, but you're not having a home built next door like you very well may have in Ramble. Now, while there are some resale homes in Light Farms, they're about done building in there. So you're a lot more limited on new construction inventory. So if you really want a brand new home, want to be able to fully customize a home, Ramble is going to be a better fit for you. Now, you also have to be okay with waiting for those amenities, okay with construction right next to you, because you could have a home being built right next door to you, or you could buy on a street that's completely finished or almost finished and you hardly hear the construction noise 3, 4, 5 streets over. Now, let's compare Ramble to another Celina community that's a lot newer than Light Farms, and that's gonna be North Sky. Now, I actually think North Sky gets overlooked a lot. It's a beautiful new master plan community. You have American legend Perry Homes and Taylor Morrison in there. So you have Perry and American Legend that are also in Ramble in Celina. So if you like the floor plans of Perry and American Legend, definitely come check this one out. But they have completely different feels. Ramble feels a lot more connected. The community center, I feel like, is a lot more connected and integrated. Everything seems a lot more woven together and connected than it does in North Sky. Again, not to say North Sky is a bad neighborhood. It's a great neighborhood. I've got videos over it if you want to watch those and compare them, but they're completely different feels. So if you want brand new construction, great builders, both the communities have that. Just really going to come down to location, commute, and what amenities each one has that you like more. Now, let's compare Ramble to 10 Mile Creek. 10 Mile Creek, I honestly think, is one of the most affordable and best priced neighborhoods in Celina, and I could do like 80 of these. You also have Cross Creek Meadows right across the street, but in 10 Mile Creek, you have William Ryan Homes and you have American Legend. Now, American Legend there, I toured some. They were 3,300 square feet for like $575, I want to say. I have home tours of those on my channel as well if you want to check those out. But again, Ramble, on the other hand, is a different feel. I think you have better amenities in Ramble. I think the neighborhood layout feels a little bit more integrated. It feels like a lot bigger community. I mean, it is. Then 10 Mile Creek, but they're both great. It really depends, right? That's where reaching out to me, letting me know, hey, what your goals are, what you like, and then I can build a custom, right? I do virtual tours for you, or I'll just share some of the home tours I have coming up I can share a private link that you can watch it, and knowing what's important to you. So reach out to me. That'll really help us narrow it down. But these videos definitely, at least I hope, give you a lot of insight as to which one may be a best fit for you. Now, of course, most people ask me, hey, what's the best community in Celina? Which one would you choose? Again, that's hard to answer. It depends on your goals. Now, I do think Ramble it's one of the favorites I've toured. I think you have the best builder variety, best amenities, and some of the best value HOA wise. The only thing I hate about it is it's in that MMD. I bought in a mud, so it's not me calling the pot black, not me calling the kettle black, whatever the saying is, you know what I'm saying. But I think if you can't find in a more expensive home at that same payment like we talked about, I think it's a great fit for you. Now, if I feel like you get a little bit more home in like Cross Creek Meadows or 10 Mile Creek, and then of course, if you value having the amenities ready to go now, Light Farms is going to be a great fit for you. Light Farms already has their elementary school, all their pools, parks, playgrounds, green space, ponds, pickleball, basketball courts ready to go. So it really depends what you value. All of them are great, but they may be terrible for you depending what your goals are. Now, this is the biggest mistake I see people that relocate make, is they fall in love with a specific builder and floor plan, and then they fly all the way out here and are like, this is the one, and then find out the community doesn't fit them. And then it's like, okay, we only have 2, 3, 4 days here. Now you feel scrambled. So it's best, right? Totally fine. Like, find a builder and floor plan you love, and let's see if we can find you a community. I will go find every community that has that floor plan. And then before you fly out here or drive here, we'll go over the community and see if you think it's a good fit. That way, when you're here, we're maximizing your time on the highest percentage neighborhoods that are going to make the most sense for you. If you're planning a move here to North Texas, whether you think Ramble's the perfect fit or you're still undecided on a community, like I said, whether you're 9 days or 9 months out for making that move, reach out to us. We'd love to be your boots on the ground here. Go out. We've already toured a lot of the communities. We can do a FaceTime tour, virtual tour, whatever it may be. That way you can see it, and we can narrow down the communities before you ever spend money on a flight, gas, diesel, whatever car you drive, Tesla charger. I'd love to save you as much time, travel, and stress as possible. So if you have any questions, thinking of making the move, reach out to us. All my contact info is below, and be sure to check out all our relocation guides you can download for free. But hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in Texas soon.